It's quite funny. I was actually standing around at a book launch with a load of other historians the other night, and this is going to sound really, really sad, but we were actually playing Rank Your Best Medieval Kings, and Henry V comes out top. He comes out, it is really sad. There's no doubt, it is sad. We are sad. But nevertheless, Henry V comes out top because, look, you're measured on three things as a medieval king. You know, measured on protecting the church, on keeping order at home and dispensing justice. But really, in this period, as a military leader, you know, masculinity is about fighting. Being a great leader is about generally being a great warrior. And at this point, going out and fighting the French. And Henry V does that in a way that no one else has managed through the whole of the period beforehand. He effectively conquers the French crown. The Treaty of Troyes in 1420 is an agreement which says the mad French king, Charles VI's son, is now disinherited. He's not going to be the next French king. Henry V, the King of England, is the heir to the French throne. He's heir to 2 crowns, and his son will be after him. And these 2 crowns will be joined together. I mean, that's crazy.
Which was the goal? They kept trying to do it and not succeeding.
Well, it's been the stated goal of the 100 Years' War. Whether actually people meant it or not, I don't know, because it's a good it's a good reason to keep fighting for territorial gain by claiming, you know, the ultimate prize is going to be the crown of France. And I think a lot of people fighting in this war on the English side thought, yeah, but I mean, we're never going to win the crown of France. That's crazy. Henry V goes and does it. He actually does it. And for 30 years, there's an English kingdom of France. I mean, that's quite astonishing. And at the same time as doing that, he manages to keep order, unity at home, to kind of bring his country along with him on this incredibly expensive and, you might say, sort of hubristic military enterprise.
So, and ultimately, he gets married. Mm-hmm. And let's talk a little bit about, he gets married, but he never gets to see his baby. I mean, so there is a hubris to it. I mean, where he could have like ended and stopped finally, and the baby is born and he passes. So why is it that, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about how that shapes who he left his power in the hands of, and that we have the birth of the heir to the kingdom of both England and France, but it's like a little infant, which I think is really a great, the way you describe it, and talk about who's left on the playing field after he dies.
So imagine, I guess, that the Queen, Prince Charles, Prince William, all are sort of fighting in France and get dysentery and die. Okay, they're out of the picture suddenly. It would be like being left right now with Prince George as the King of England, okay? Except that in the 15th century, the king actually has to do stuff and has a sort of a serious active political role. So that's what you have in 1422 when Henry V dies of dysentery on campaign while he's fighting, like he always is fighting. You have Henry VI, his son, whom, as you say, he's never met, becomes...
I thought that was sad.
It is sad, isn't it? It is sad. Becomes King of England at 9 months, 10 months old. And around him, the rest of the country somehow has to deal with this, because he's not only King of England, he's now also King of France, because the French king dies very shortly afterwards. So for the first time, you've got a king who's the king of both realms, and that king is 9 months old. I mean, it's a very, very difficult situation.